Hello. We're going to set up the piano roll in Logic. We're going to edit some notes in there, and then we're going to quantize those notes using different settings. So let's start out with a software instrument track. We'll use the electric piano. And I'm going to open up the Apple keyboard using Apple and K, Command K. So now I can play it using my computer keyboard. If you have a MIDI keyboard attached, that's fine. You can just use that too. So I have the record button enabled. So now I can play notes. So now let's record just a simple little tune. Okay, simple enough, just a couple notes. So now we can close this keyboard. We don't need it on the screen right now. So I'm going to press Apple and K again. And now to open up the piano roll, we double click. You can resize this piano roll by clicking and dragging. So now we see all the notes. I'm going to keep the metronome on so you can hear how badly I played that. Okay, so you can see how some of these notes are a little bit off, right? So what we can do is we can click on any of those notes and can drag them around, totally change the rhythm of the track, or we could even change the notes of the track. So now I've created a new rhythm, and I'm going to change this note to an E. So now let's play it back again. Totally different. Doesn't sound very good, but it's different. Now, if we click and drag all the notes, you can hold down Shift, select any missing notes if you didn't hit it with a click and drag. Now we can go to quantize. So quantize is just a computer's way of snapping the notes into a grid. So let's quantize these notes. We can choose any value we want. For this, I'm going to choose eighth notes because I want it to be snapping to a tight grid. 16th, the problem is, see how it's snapped to the grid? The problem with 16th notes is it may not get it right. It looks like it got it right this time, but sometimes it moves it too subtly, and the problem is it gets the syncopation wrong if you play it very poorly. Whereas eighth notes, most of the time, at a fast tempo, will get exactly what you meant to do. Okay, so that's pretty good. But I did want a little bit of a swing here. Remember at the beginning? Here, ba-ba-da. So I kind of want to emphasize that swing, but it's not a very tight swing. So what I'll do is I'll select those notes there, and I will add swing here. So we can actually, we'll quantize it to an eighth note first, and then we'll add swing. We might have to add 16th note swing. There we go. So see how now this note is over here? So before, it slaps in right there. It slots in. But when you move it with swing, it humanizes it a little bit and moves it over. So now let's try that out. That actually does sound like it kind of has some swing. Bum, ba-da. Great. So now we've done quantization, we've changed the notes around, and we've added some swing. Let's do one last thing, velocity. So hear how that note is played at like about a normal volume, and see how when I hover over the note it says velocity 98. If I turn that velocity up here, see how now the note turns red, and let's hear how it sounds. It sounds pretty loud. And now let's turn the velocity way down on these last couple of notes here. So what about this? Wow, I can't even hear them. Let's turn the velocity up a little more. Probably 37. Let's try that. So it completely changes the timbre of the instrument, and it also changes how loud the instrument plays. So experiment with velocity, because a lot of synthesizers and instruments in Logic will respond differently to different levels of velocity. So that's the piano roll: quantization, swing, note arrangement, and velocity. Have fun.